some of the biggest names and entrepreneurs say, I've asked them this question: if you had to start over in building your leadership platform, where would you start? I've asked this to the guy, Entrepreneurs on Fire, the host of that podcast show,
Right.
um, John Lee Dumas. I just interviewed him the other day, and I said, man, if you could start over. He's got one of the biggest following podcasts for entrepreneurs in the game, daily podcast show, millions of downloads. And I said, where would you start at? He said, I'd probably start on Clubhouse. What's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome to the first Kingdom REI Live. We're getting everybody in here. All right, we're about to go live on YouTube as well. Welcome, everyone, to the first Kingdom REI Live. We're going to get going here in just a second. Thanks for joining in. We got a huge first episode mastermind that we're going to be doing together, talking about Clubhouse, how to use Clubhouse as a real estate investor, business owner. Really excited for today. I'm just going to get us all set up here. Welcome. We got a couple incredible guests, Jeff the Entrepreneur, Amy G. I actually met both of them down in Miami at the 10X Growth Conference. So, hey, if you're here with me today, anybody been to Miami, by the way? Any people from Miami in the audience? We live in San Diego, but man, I spent 2 days in Miami and was ready to make a move, which is saying something because I'm from San Diego, and San Diego is a great place to be as well. And so listen, welcome everyone. I see a lot of folks coming into the room. Go ahead and shoot me a message. Let me see if I can see you. Actually, we haven't done too many webinars. We typically do these live meetings, but type in the chat. Would love to see who's here, and that way I know you're around, you're participating, and we'll have a time to answer questions and really dive into this platform of Clubhouse for you today. Excited everyone's here and getting going. So if you're here, go ahead and type in the chat. Let me see you. All right. So, know if we can get this thing going on YouTube or not. But let's get this thing going. So hey, there we are. I see everybody coming in. Marshall, Todd, Nick from Missouri. It's not Miami, Nick. That's not Miami. I think you and I both, man, should consider a change. What do you think? Get a little compound down in Miami. Chris is out in Colorado. Weather's great in Colorado, but no, there's no ocean in Colorado. Hard to see the ocean from Colorado. So hey, welcome. My name is Ellis. I am founder of this community called Kingdom REI, Kingdom Real Estate Investors. We are a community for kingdom leaders across the country, really looking to build and grow profitable businesses, where faith is a core value, and that we want to see our businesses really serve a bigger purpose and a bigger mission, ultimately to glorify God and to help others. Quick 30 seconds. My background actually is not in real estate. It's not in entrepreneurship. You could say as entrepreneurship a little bit. I was a full-time pastor and missionary. And the reason I got into the world of entrepreneurship is because I began to see the need for entrepreneurs who are kingdom-minded, who could grow and build profitable businesses, who could create capital, multiply wealth, and then steward that wealth for a greater cause and a greater purpose. I remember a young man came to me and said, Ellis, I don't have enough money this month to buy groceries. And that was a turning point for me. He said, I got to get serious about leveraging all of the gifts that God has given me to advance His kingdom, to help others. And so, I love building things. And so the first thing we started doing was investing in real estate. And that really became the vehicle for us to really build and multiply wealth. And then we started a community alongside of this called Kingdom REI, which is a mastermind community. We serve about 20 investors all over the country that we are in a mastermind together, and we do in-person events, and we collaborate on deals, and we're really looking to help grow and scale people's businesses through joint ventures and collaborations. And so the kingdomrei.com is where you can learn more about that. And I want to start off, actually, we're going to bring Jeff up here in a minute. We're going to be talking all about Clubhouse today. And if you're not on Clubhouse, it's such an interesting platform that has absolutely skyrocketed. And again, like we're going to be doing different topics every week. And the point of this, and the point of even talking about Clubhouse right now, and the point of we're talking next week about automating your capital raise is because I'm serious about cutting through the noise and just giving you actionable advice every single week to take back, to apply right away so that you can grow and scale your real estate business and your real estate portfolio. Why? Because profit matters. Because we need a generation of folks who are serious about building and creating profitable businesses, right? Who can then go and leverage that wealth for good. And so I want to give you actionable advice. So this is what I need from you today. I just need you to make a commitment. And let me see you in the chat. If you're going to be here every week with me, make a commitment. Just type yes or type in I'm all in. Just type me something that you will take action today, that you're not just going to listen, but that you will take action on whatever we talk about it. You'll do something. You'll go download the app. You'll join a room. You will do something today that is actionable that will help you grow your business afterwards. Because if not, I'm wasting my time. So if you're committed to at least taking action today, let me see that in the chat, just so I know everyone will do one thing. That's all I need you to do. Take one thing from today and do it. Okay? I don't need you to do everything. Do one. And so I'm excited that everyone's here. We're going to bring up Jeff here in just a few minutes when he joins. But first, I want to show you a video just to kind of give you an idea. Again, this is the Kingdom REI Live. I want to help our community. I want to help those thinking about our community. So I want to show you a video real quick of just the power of being part of a community like this, the power of collaborations, and really what we're all about. And then we're going to get into the Clubhouse today. So here we go. Let me play this video for you, and then we're going to jump into the full content.
So working on the biggest deal of my life, I needed a co-guarantor for the bank to approve the financing package. I went and made lots of calls, but then I made one call to Ellis within our group, and he directed me to somebody who agreed to be the guarantor on my project, which would get it over the finish line. I don't know if it would have gone forward if I hadn't been in this group, which helped get it over the finish line and got it done. We all know people in the real estate world that we've learned the hard way we can't trust. This is one of the few groups where there's an instant respect and instant trust level. This group has such a high level of confidence, but more importantly, trust, that any person sitting in the room with me in this group is somebody I would go partner with tomorrow. So a big part of any time I invest my time or money is what's my ROI. And going to a conference for 3 days, I want to make sure I've got some major takeaways. And at the last conference, I had one major takeaway that will transform my marketing going forward. That one takeaway took 5 minutes to learn, but implementing it will be a game changer for my business.
Boom. So that was one of our members, Scott. Love that guy out of Nashville, and that's what I'm talking about. Like I have found, and what we're gonna be talking about today is tips, strategies, tactics, like little things, right? Like little things to give you an advantage in this business, in the real estate industry. Listen, I'm a marketer. Like I am a marketer at heart. I'm a salesperson at heart. I was an evangelist as a missionary. Like I love marketing, and these are the little things that I see in our industry that people aren't doing that'll help you. But the 10x multiple that I have seen that's helped me grow, that's helped our members in our community grow, are joint ventures, are partnerships. It's aligning with the right people to help grow your business. And so that's exactly the story that Scott had when he came into our group. And so if interested, thekingdomrei.com, we have our next mastermind event coming up in Dallas, beginning of August. So thekingdomrei.com, you'll have to apply, and but we're eager to grow that community with like-minded people who are serious about growing and scaling profitable businesses, profitable real estate ventures. And so anyways, thekingdomrei.com. So let's get in, let's talk about Clubhouse. If you don't know what Clubhouse yet is, let me explain before Jeff gets on the call here. Clubhouse is a social media app like LinkedIn, like Instagram, like Facebook. And the importance of these different platforms is that they've already built an established audience, right? So instead of like here, this is like my own platform, this is my own stage, and I've had to go and recruit and market all of you to be here today, right? And so that's why you're all logged in. However, Clubhouse is different. Facebook is different. People are already there. It's an audience that you can easily tap into. And for many, this has been a game changer for a lot of businesses, because you can go into Clubhouse, you can start a room, or you can join a room, and there's already a dozen, maybe sometimes even over 100 people in the audience already. So instead of having to market, recruit people, if they're already using the app, you can log in, start your own room or join a room and be part of a conversation that's already happening. And the other thing that I've noticed, and I think this is so key, and I want you to get this principle. I want you to think for a second about Kobe Bryant, okay? Because I love this analogy when it comes to marketing. And bless the man's soul, right? And RIP to Kobe Bryant. But I want you to think about when Kobe Bryant died. The entire world mourned the death of Kobe Bryant. Why? Because most people spend their entire lives watching or listening to interviews, games of Kobe Bryant. They fell in love with a figure. 99% of those people never met Kobe Bryant. And the reality is, for your clients, 99% of your clients will never meet you face to face, most likely. Right? If you're growing a big real estate business, your investors, for the most part, probably will never meet you face to face. So how do you create a trust, a bond, a conviction to want to invest with you or do business with you more than anybody else? Two ways: be omnipresent. I mean, they got to see you a lot. 15 times, I think now, how many touches someone needs to make a sale with you. 15 times. It used to be 5 or 8, now it's 15. Okay, 15 touches. So that means the more places you show up in their ecosystem, email, Facebook, Instagram, Clubhouse, right? The more they begin to think about you. That's why you're probably getting an email from me every day for the next while. Second, though, is audio or visual on a consistent basis. And so I have found, like, for example, we had a podcast show. When we first launched our podcast, and we were launching our mastermind, I would get on phone calls with people who were interested in joining our community. And it was so interesting to me because they would ask me the question, we would go through what it was and be like, okay, this sounds great. What else should I be asking you? I said, well, you don't know much about me. You've asked very few questions about me personally. And as a founder of this community, I would think that would be something you'd want to know about. And they're like, no, Ellis, I feel like I already know you. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, I've listened to hours of your podcast show. And so we're friends. And so that's the power of having a platform, being the power of audio, people having a place where they can listen to you over and over. It builds trust. And so you got to be committed. If it's not going to be Clubhouse or whatever it's going to be, having a platform where people can consistently hear you and get to know you. And even better if it's one-to-many, right? Because it's really hard to do that on a one-to-one basis and multiply that. And so Clubhouse is one of those platforms that can help you do this on a big scale. And so we are waiting for Jeff. Jeff, if you're here, raise your hand. Jeff's here. Awesome. So I'm going to bring in Jeff. Let me see if we can get Jeff up here. My man Jeff, known as Jeff the Entrepreneur. Jeff, can you hear me, man? Let's see.
Can you see me? I'm trying to turn on the camera.
Yeah, I'm gonna promote you to panelist. I think this will help. You in here? Uh-oh, something's changing.
I just booted out to get me in. We're good.
You with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
See if I can get your camera on. So we're going live here. I want you to, if you're in the audience, Nick says it's Clubhouse still invite only. I'm pretty sure, Nick, we're gonna ask Jeff about that. I know it's a lot easier to get in. There's a lot of different invites, but yes, I'm pretty sure Clubhouse is still invite only. Nick, if you send an email to info@thekingdomrei.com, we'll see if we can get you an invite by the end of the day today. And we'll see if we can get you. Jeff, how's it going? Can you turn your camera on?
My camera. I have my DS. cannot start your video because your host has stopped it. So you gotta let me start my
Okay,
video.
so let's see. Let me see. Let me make you a co-host, see what happens there.
Oh yeah.
All right. Come on in now.
So we'll go back. We'll swap the camera. Yeah, so Clubhouse is invite only, but I have some invites today that you guys, if you want, I will go through Ellis and we'll get those to you guys as long as
Perfect.
it works. So
Perfect. So,
camera's
Jeff,
not working.
while you're working on the camera, that's okay. So how long you been using Clubhouse, man?
So since December, Christmas break, December 28th, I came on. I thought it was a dating app. I should read the introduction to I think I read it to you that time we met. I thought it was a dating app, downloaded it, and life was changed. So many connections. I actually have a new MacBook Pro that the CEO of T-Mobile sent to me to plan an event that I think we'll have you at one day.
T-Mobile sent you a computer because of your influence on Clubhouse?
100%. The main guy who was in charge of the Sprint. Oh, there we go.
There he is.
All right. I don't know why that works sometimes. It's a little light here. But anyway, the same guy, John Legere, you can look him up. He's a big influencer on there. Both Grant, obviously Grant Cardone, right?
Yeah, I've heard of him once or twice.
And there's another dude on there who gets his name out. So they're both big fans of this guy. And they've been trying to get him to speak at their event. And I told him, I'm going to put on an event, try following your footsteps. Sure enough, man, story. He heard about my story and he sent me this thing to work on it. So we're going to be running a pretty big event with him there. So it's going to be awesome.
That's incredible. So let me ask you before we get started, because I want to ask this first, and then I don't want people to waste their time if this is not a viable app. I've seen some numbers start to really dip on Clubhouse. Do you still think, but I've also heard some of the biggest names and entrepreneurs say, I've asked them this question, if you had to start over in building your leadership platform, where would you start? I've asked this to the guy, Entrepreneurs on Fire, the host of that podcast show,
Right.
John Lee Dumas. I just interviewed him the other day, and I said, man, if you could start over, he's got one of the biggest following podcasts for entrepreneurs in the game, daily podcast show, millions of downloads. And I said, where would you start at? He said, I'd probably start on Clubhouse. But then I look at the numbers and I see things are really dropping. What would you say to that? Is Clubhouse going to be something that people in our audience should really think about dedicating time to over the next several months?
Yes, and the reason why is because of instant connection with anybody you can meet. Okay, and here's the thing: for mass marketing numbers, you're right. So what's going on is because invites are going on, their Android users are going to be MA. The hallway. So just like any platform, everybody said, man, I wish I was dancing on TikTok a little earlier when it went viral, right? Same exact thing. That little beginning part where they only had a limited part, the hallways got packed because there was less choices. Now by them allowing many, many people to come on and even more invites, there's more choices, right? So if you started a room on real estate and I started one on marketing, right? People have choices. Before, there was just one use, there was just one real estate. However, they can get instant connection with us where it might be hard to get into us right away by us starting a room in there and raise their hand and ask a question. So it's the easiest virtual event in your pocket that's the easiest to go to, that you can build a connection, build a report, and you can build a really good lead list and connections for real estate, for anything you're doing, you can build it up on. There's a lot of investors in there I talk with in Texas and Florida. So
yeah, I mean, that's so true. I think about, I started on LinkedIn when I was still a pastor and I had no network, right? I was like, I want to do bigger real estate deals. And all I knew was college students, right? So it's hard to buy bigger deals when your network is 18, 19-year-olds. And so I started on LinkedIn and the connections came from commenting, DMing, like that actually built rapport with people, where I think about how much that is accelerated through audio, right? Like when you get off of a comment or a DM and you actually get on the phone, or what Clubhouse allows you to do is just tap into a room, and that is super powerful. So Jeff, let me ask you this, man, while we got you here for the next few minutes, the end game, like what is your what should people be thinking as they're using this room? What is the end game for your Clubhouse experience? Like, what are you trying to accomplish when you're on Clubhouse every day?
So literally 100%, I'm trying to grow. And can you see my screen here or no?
It says it start. Okay, there it is. Yep.
So I'm going to show you just everybody, so it's a little bit more real to everybody. Part of my vision board on the back of here, which I encourage everybody. That's the office I'm going to have in Miami. But let's go to Clubhouse really quick. So they changed the image icon. Maybe we'll be in here. So it might not. So this is something you're going to see on it. My end game is to build up the biggest lead list following, so I can connect cross sales, basically connect people with the right product, right? So really tell people about my mission, where I'm going, and see who wants to come with me. And by doing that, they're going to opt in with a phone number, an email, or what you call, or go to a site. And what we're going to do is we're going to build the biggest list. So that way I can connect. I'm not going to spam the list, but I'm going to connect with whatever they need to solve their problem. Because as Zig Ziglar said, you can help anybody if you help people get where they want. And I personally believe if people DM me, I will filter them to find them what they need better than anybody, not trying to charge them or sell them, but really just connect them. And by doing that, I built up a very profitable consulting business.
So that's an interesting thing. So I want everybody to hear that really clearly. On any of these platforms, and we're going to talk about this today. For those of you who stay till the end, by the way, I want to show you kind of our landing page formula that we're using to build a list off of these webinars. Okay, so we're going to talk about Clubhouse, and I want to show you how we're using landing pages. Where we've moved away from websites, we use landing pages to build lists, because a list is how you grow your business, it's how you grow your audience. So Jeff, about Clubhouse though, help me understand this, because I haven't quite figured this out yet. How do you take people? So you're trying to take people off the platform to connect with you. I mean, essentially that's how you have to do that, right? They have to come off the platform to connect with you.
Right.
If it's just an audio thing, how are you actually incentivizing or getting people to come off the platform to connect with you? Like, well, what are your lead magnets? What are you using, and how do they see those, or know what those are?
Yeah, 100%. So this is the with life and anything, right? This is just what you built up from 18 to 19 for a bigger portal to connected to LinkedIn was the same exact way, right? So you're making conversations. So just the way the great thing about today in the generation, we can make conversation with anyone. We don't have to stay in our own little spots. LinkedIn did that. It's the same process. So the same way you did something, whether it's DM or commenting, that's just having a conversation. And the best thing you want to do with the conversation, depending on having the emotional intelligence of the person, you want to make sure that you know whether you bring value first, the motion, and then the call to action where they can follow. You always want to have an end game call to action. The best way to build it is with any marketing is having a value ladder, right? So having something where you have a free opt-in, that's what I'll show you. And then what it does is it gets them to get opt-in for the free, whatever item you're talking on. So let's say I'm talking on Clubhouse, right? So actually I'll show it to you right here, what I have. This is what I have set up. I was trying to show it to you, just a live example. So if we click in here, this is me on Clubhouse, Jeff the Entrepreneur. So I'm a marketing consulting first. I can help. I just helped a guy who had he's trying to scale his auto mechanic business. I did a few things that really helped him increase his business, but he also wants a franchise. So now I connected him with somebody else who does franchising, right? This is all part of Change Lives Consulting, the whole wing I'm building up, whole consulting firm. Lost my brother, found my purpose. You want to optimize your profile. This is anywhere, okay? I teach it this way. You can do it any way you want. Whatever works is the one that works. You want to do what is the first thing. What I do marketing, why I do it. I lost my brother to drugs, fentanyl. I'm going to build the biggest franchise in honor of him called Kokomo Jays. And the whole world's watching me, right? And that's the purpose. I want to build it just like McDonald's. You see McDonald's everywhere. That's what I want to build. I'm Ray Kroc. I went door to door back in the day, and I studied everything, and now I fell into this. And then what's not selling? So I niche down, right? And this is how you can help someone. So I feast down. So if you had a course right now, I help people be course creators. It's basically the same marketing principle that I'm going to teach today, but that's what I niche down. Those are the most profitable.
Scroll down a little bit, Jeff. Scroll down. I don't think we're seeing the whole thing. Scroll down a little bit. I can see Make More Money podcast. Okay, where are we at? Okay.
So right in here this is what you're going to want. You're going to want, this is the value ladder. See, text action or Clubhouse to this number.
Yep.
So that's the first part of the value ladder. So while I'm talking on Clubhouse, if you have your Clubhouse bio optimized in, you can go on there, not spend a lot of time, be in there, go into a room. You're going to identify the rooms you want. This is all coming out my Clubhouse guide that you want to be a part of. Let's say it's real estate. Let's say the thing of the 5 things I wish I knew about real estate. By you just talking, Ellis, in there, people are going to DM you for that sheet, or they'll text it in there. Like if I'm on the room, I would get text and they'd already start the funnel. Okay.
Are you using a texting service for that?
Yep.
What service?
We use,
do you know offhand?
Yeah. Text Magic. So I use Text Magic because the one thing great about Clubhouse is it's worldwide. Community is great. I love community, but it's only United States. So really where my grow is, where I want to help is, you guys are seeing me get all these texts in here. This is totally transparent here. I was gonna say, but when I text magic, you go to textmagic.com, you can load it up for $50. You can send out text flash SMS. All right. A lot of things that you'll see that everybody says on Clubhouse, and this is anywhere, this is LinkedIn, this is Facebook, right? You're in a group, you're gonna say, hey, DM me, right? That's now getting it on, right? So you're gonna want to get to that's the funnel. So see, DM to pre-order best Clubhouse guide ever, DM automation for details. People will read your profile. They're on Clubhouse, they're looking at the phone, they will click and read it if you have it optimized up, especially if you grow a pretty good influence on it, right? Like I'll go in any room in here. I don't know if it's gonna work. It might not work on here. You raise your hand. Once you build enough influence and they know you, they're gonna, that's John Lee. You know who John Lee is?
Yeah, John Lee Dumas. We were just talking about him, right?
Yeah, so he has a profile up here. So they just brought me up as a speaker here, right? So now because of that, in this room, people are now gonna be looking up on here. And the best position to be is down here or up at the top, okay? Because up at the top moderator, people will click on your profile more, right? And they'll see what your profile is. See, here's
so let me, this is really good, Jeff. I think I want to make sure people are getting this. By the way, Jeff, how do you DM in Clubhouse? You can't DM in Clubhouse. DM on Instagram. So that's why you want to make sure you have your Instagram profile connected to your Clubhouse account so that they can easily click and go there. iPhone users, is it still for iPhone users? I think they're coming out with an Android version, right?
So they already are. It's already been leaked to Android users. So through a third-party app, you can get to it. It does mess up the room because it is all beta. There's going to be multiple apps like Clubhouse, by the way. They're all coming out. I'm highly invested in software. I do a lot of consulting for software businesses. Got flown out from my boys Connected. Awesome dude. So there's a lot of software coming out like this. So this isn't the end-all be-all, but it is good to learn this platform of the video and audio and how to do it, because it will be duplicatable. Facebook, Instagram Live. It is taking such a big market share and has the best thing. See, they give notifications right in there. So what's your name on Clubhouse? Because I'm going to go to your profile. I'll show you right now.
I think it's just Ellis Hammond, my name.
All right. So this is everything I coach and consult in my time. So I'm not even following you. I apologize for that. So when I follow you and I put on your profile always, right now, anytime you get a room, one thing that's happened with updates, it used to give me a notification like you just see there on Clubhouse that you'd start a room. It stopped doing that because so many users came on, and in the software business, you need proxies, you need stuff that's capable to push it all out, and they didn't have enough for the capability. So there's a lot of quirks, a lot of like tweaks that they're doing as they go. But anyway, you go to Clubhouse and this is how you DM somebody. So you hooked up yours. Yours is great here. You actually have full-time pastor, there's full-time investor. That's great. So what Ellis did really well, he did a timeline, boom to boom, without a lot of words. You don't want a lot of words. You want to tell people where you went to where you are now. So a great job here. I didn't even look at your profile really, right? And this time I've learned 3 money lessons. So this is, and you have a 3-point bullet point. So that works. So a different way. You have this. You have a call to action to DM you. You have your book. This is pretty well set up. DM me to be a guest. Boom. So I'm going to DM you. Let's say you're speaking in Rome. I can't follow anyone right now because that. So I'll DM, this is our DMs here. So can I be a guest, right? Now, what I coach, I'm not going to get into everything I coach. I usually will send guests, qualifying question. But that's how you DM in there. Here, I'm going too fast, right?
No, I love that. That's really helpful. But again, like that's why I think knowing, and this is so key, guys, like the 3 rules of success: show up, have a great attitude, and know what you want. So when you show up on these platforms, if you have a great attitude and you know, and what Jeff's saying is you need to know what you want. Like go there, if you're going there to look for investors, make sure your profile is optimized for investors, right? Like make sure you have a lead magnet, something that they can ask you about, that you show up with value, you have a great attitude, and you have something that they want that you can exchange for. Jeff, let me ask you this though, and this will be one of my last questions for you, is for those who are just getting started, and I've just found this, by the way, guys, I went live every day last week on Clubhouse when I had everywhere from 1 follower or 1 audience person to I think 10 was the max I've had. So I tested this before this. I went live every day, and then I had a kid on Tuesday, and things got really messy real quick.
Oh yeah, so, congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks, man. We have a beautiful baby girl.
What's her name?
Ruthie is her
Oh,
name.
that's awesome. It's a good
Yeah,
Bible.
yeah. So, I haven't gone live again yet, right? So, but I'm gonna get back. But the thing is, Jeff, is like 8 people were there, 9 people were there. So for those who are listening and they want to get started in this, and you're saying, hey, they should be doing more of this. Is it better for them to begin to host their own rooms like I was trying to do and recruit friends, or is the hack to like join other rooms and collaborate with the people who've already built an audience? Which way would you go if you were kind of starting from scratch again?
So 100%. If you want to go more, go farther, go together, right? Collaboration is always the key in anything you are. It's collaboration over competition. You want to pick out a room. So what I would do for you, what's your room you're starting on?
Let's just call it, how to scale through joint ventures.
Perfect. Okay, good. So there's another guy named Sohill on there. He does joint ventures. He's a big influencer. He was up on December 28th. We spent all day when it was really small and we were able to grow a pretty big following. You would reach out to him. I could actually show you this guy right now. He does great room on pitching to VCs and I want to do more joint ventures. So me and him are this. So let's see here. Actually, I think he's called Joint Venture. So one thing he did really good. This is him, the joint venture expert. Okay. So I would reach out to this guy. I DM this guy. This is his whole story, multimillionaire broke. So what I would do, I would find the room, I'd turn on his bell like I would. When he goes to a room, instead, you could start your own room. I would always do that. I would do 2 things. I would start your own room at a weekly time and then tell your following your list, hey, every morning I do the wealthy wake up with my brother at 7 a.m. We're going to talk about this and then do that. Always do that. But where you're going to go farther and grow and connect with a bigger audience, because you're only going to get whoever's on your list and whoever can show up at a time. What you're going to do is you're going to go to this guy as soon as you hear him speaking in his room, and you're going to basically, it's the same thing as networking at an event like me and you sat down, how we met, right? You're going to sit down, what are you going to make a connection with them? So if he says something, be genuine, man. Don't just make a connection, make a connection. This is his book. This is the connection we had. So I actually sent him back the qualifying anchor question. Hey, do you have Grant Cardone? Great. So then I sent him a video. This is the whole thing that anybody, the video builds trust, right? I'll show you everything. Watch me for a minute. I don't think you ever watched it too. So now let's face forward to it. He's a busy guy. You give so much value when you speak. Thank you. Thank you, right? This is it. I just looked him up. So now I'm connected. I'm listening to him speak. He was looking on something. I don't know what it was, but I gave him some have to connect with you thing. Cool. Hit me up here. So this is high ticket for experts, right? So let's catch up on a call today. I'm free after time at 1 p.m. I was getting buried in DMs right now, and I still get so I never got back. Hey, I'm an audience. Can you bring me up and mod me, please? This is something you'll see. Now, what happened was that we started growing. I grew in a big marketing room, and nobody knew him. He's with a higher in joint venture rooms. So now, because of the connection we have, and we're front, and Sohill's good. He's good at joint ventures. Now I bring him. Got you, brother. Boom. Sorry, saw this before, right? Now you're building a relationship because what happens in Clubhouse is very simple. Audience, speakers, moderators. Moderators can bring people up. I actually personally love being a moderator because a little green bean when they do it. But you get more responsibility. You have a million people DM me, bring me up, this, that. And what you want to do, just like it's radio. You want to curate the room for the best radio. And the moderators are controlling that, right? So there's actually a lot of pressure to be a moderator. If someone says something bad, they yell at you and everything like that. So, hey, brother, I'm hosting a mastermind. So this is, yeah, of course, with you. So this was his room. So you're going to see this a lot. Clubhouse made a thing, and I don't want to get in. I know thing. There's a lot more we can go into if you want. This is what I do now. I do full-time consulting. A lot of it deals with Clubhouse. That's why I'm actually going to be at this event now, speaking all this in detail. We're making up slides for it. I was going to have the slides ready for this, but I think this is a better way to do it. Don't you think so?
I love it. And also too, Jeff, I want you to give out, you're writing a book on this. I want to make sure people, because I mean, we're moving fast today. And I know if people want to commit to this, it's going to be easier for them to read too. So you have a book that you've already produced for this?
Yeah. So it's called The Best Clubhouse Guide Ever. It's going to be a timely book. Actually, the guy who's hosting this event that I'm going to be out, I got to book a trip to be down in Miami. So this guy, Tyler, gave me the idea. He's running this event to basically make a timeless book. So no matter what, we're going to PDF. Anybody who buys the book, we'll update it as much as Clubhouse changes because it's new, and we'll give you, so it can truly be the best guide. It'll teach you exactly how I built a lead list, how I monetize, and how you can best make the app work for you. Not the operations, but a lot of stuff I was showing you today, but in detail, and I have a connection tip at the end of each chapter. I'm speaking and showing this all for 25 minutes at this event because I built up a lot of businesses through Clubhouse. I've taken the best way to not waste time, get the best connection, and build the biggest list so they can get an end result through Clubhouse and many other platforms, but definitely Clubhouse because I spent a lot of time on it. And then this was the event that we're doing. So they're actually giving away an autographed copy of the best Clubhouse guide ever. It's not even out yet, but anybody for this call, if you want it, I don't think my autograph's worth more than Daffy Duck signature, but that's what they want to do that. So
where do they get the guide though? The bestclubhouseguideever.com?
Yeah. So actually, if you just DM me at Jeff the Entrepreneur, I'll send you the link. It's actually, I think if I have the thing right, it's, let's see.
I love how you're doing all this on your phone. This is incredible.
Yeah,
are you
like it's more entertaining this way,
How are you actually doing this? Are you on your computer and on your phone at the same time?
Yeah, so I synced up. This is a lot of stuff I showed. So what you want to do, you want to show up powerfully wherever you go, in a room and everything. You want to be memorable. You want to be different. You don't want to just be a guy drawing on a slide. I love how you're doing this conversation. This is stuff that's really gotten me more doors by doing stuff. So if I go to dmjeff.club, so if you DM Jeff the Entrepreneur, but if you go to DM, so this is it. So if you actually go to dmjeff.club, you'll get the free sheet. You'll get this away for anybody coming in. Oh, actually, this one's not the free sheet. Clubhouse. You go dmjeff.club, DM me at Jeff the Entrepreneur. I'll send it to you. There's a free tip sheet, but the guide is.
Hey, go back to that. Go back to that real quick. We're going to talk about this afterwards. Scroll down real quick, guys. This is what a landing page is, and we're going to talk about this at the end. I'm going to show you our framework. This is what, if you do not have a landing page where there's one action. So what's the one action you want them to do? Is it just enter their email and buy your book on this? Is that?
No, this is the buy page. There was a page before this, which is an opt-in, which I can show you that before. Because Ellis knows so much about funnels. Definitely check him out on that. I love it. I love just testing them. I love marketing, man. Right? You love marketing too, right?
That's why I say if I had to learn marketing before I learned real estate, I may have never become a real estate investor. But the thing is, marketing is the lifeblood of any business, so you need them both.
So this is the sheet that this is an opt-in page here. See?
Boom. So this is so huge, everyone, because now Jeff has something that, again, he's saying, hey, go to. The only thing Jeff doesn't do well is he talks so fast and thinks so quick, is that you don't tell people your call to action enough, Jeff. So I still don't know what the link is of where you want me to go.
So go to dmjeff.club, dmjeff.club, dmjeff.club.
dmjeff.club. Thank you.
Actually, I have my Instagram so lined up. What would help out better, because we have assistants, but I personally respond to them. It would be better if you just DM me Jeff the Entrepreneur. That's why it's DM Jeff. If you DM me Jeff the Entrepreneur, I'll give you all the links to everything and all the special offers, even the special offer to Miami this week. We're doing, we have 6 tickets left. So all those offers we have, you want to join me in Miami and see me speak more on this, we can do that as well.
I want to come to Miami. I would be there, but I'm on dad duty
this weekend. Man. I know you're dad. Is that your first kid?
My first kid, man. Yeah, my first kid. So Shalmet is asking, is there a specific place we go get a landing page? ClickFunnels that I have found to be the best and most easy to work with. Shalmet, ClickFunnels also does this thing called a one funnel away challenge, I believe is what it's called. It's a 30-day challenge where the CEO, Russell Brunson, actually does like a 30-day walkthrough of how they use funnels, and it's so helpful. It's $100.
Did you do it or no?
Oh yeah, I've done it twice, and I recommend every entrepreneur to do it. So if you email me again, info@thekingdomrei.com, I will send you a code. I think you might even get a discount to take that challenge or to sign up for ClickFunnels. info@thekingdomrei.com. I will get you the information you need for that. I highly recommend ClickFunnels and going through that 30-day course. It will be so helpful to just any entrepreneur, like defining your story, defining your key offer, and then using a funnel like Jeff's using to grow your database. This is kind of the lifeblood. By the way, we're waiting on Amy here. Amy, if you're here, raise your hand. We might just be, Jeff and I could just sit here and ramble, but Amy, if you're here, make sure you raise your hand. If not, Jeff and I are going to keep chatting. Because Jeff, go ahead, Jeff.
I would love to run a room with you on Clubhouse one time. We could kind of curate something eventually too.
Yeah, I love that, man. So let me ask you this last thing here. collaborations. So what I have seen you do an incredible job of, I mean, again, like we would not have. What's funny is this is how Jeff and I met. We were at the 10X Growth Conference. It was probably midnight. I'm tired. I'm about ready to go to bed. And Jeff sits down. We're at the bar at the hotel, right? Like in the lounge area. And Jeff sits down. I don't know how, but you just started talking. And I was like, man, this guy, the first thing that came to my mind was this guy talks fast, and it's like midnight. And I'm like, this guy talks fast. I'm ready to go to bed. But then the more we started talking, I'm like, okay, I like this guy a lot. He's hungry. He's got a lot of drive. And so anyways, that's how we met. And then I guess we stayed in touch through Instagram. So I'm really glad we did. But what I found you've done an incredible job of is just, especially on Clubhouse, but it's how you're growing your business, is just collaborations, finding ways to connect with key leaders. What would be some tips or advice? Again, because I say this all the time, our tagline for Kingdom ROI is you're one connection away. Like you're one connection away from having the business, the faith, like it takes one person to change, like from having a MacBook Pro. Exactly.
Which, by the way,
how do you do it,
I
Jeff?
had this one before. This is my own thing. I built this one, right? And that one's barely working. So this is how you do it. This is how anybody can do it. And you do it very well yourself, Ellis, So it's really, you have to be, and I feel like this is a trigger word, but as authentic as you can. And you have to get in the psychographics, okay? Psychographics is the mindset of the person you're trying to reach, okay? So you got to not think of yourself, get outside yourself, but look at what they need, what you need, right? And the best way to actually do it is formulate. Everything's copy, right? With funnels is copy. What's coming out of my mouth is copy. Maybe a little bit faster than you like, but I'm so energized because I have a lot to get. Watch my Amazon Prime speech, and when I speak on the yacht, it'll be slow. I'm really juiced up. I had an energy drink today. So, but I'm trying to speak slower now. But when you see, when I speak slower, it slows down my thoughts.
I forgot. I'm moving too fast. You can't actually say what you're going to say. No, keep going. You're great.
No, but you want to do this. The psychographics mindset. You want to reach out to someone. So if it was Ellis, I forget how we exactly connected. I mean, it was kind of late. I was actually tired, believe it or not, and I got energy once I found out everything he's built and what he's done. And I was like, man, I want to be around a guy like this. I loved everything about him. In life, guys, this is for everybody. You get to pick who you want to be up on a journey with. Whether you're at a business and a job, you pick those people you want in life. And Ellis was one person. There was a few things he said. I thought, man, this guy's awesome. And I just want to wow him enough, show him how hungry I am, where I'm at. I only own a 4-unit real estate. I'm not a big time real estate. I want to be that, right? But I'm going to focus on my marketing business first and feed it. Actually, personally, nobody's paying right now at my unit, and my dad just lost his job. So see, those two stories are true, but that's emotion. Oh my God, right? The value is watch me come through that. I have my dad call my lead list now. I gave him a job. This is going out. And I'm going to figure out how to keep or sell my 4-unit pennies on the dollar, right? So now you gave them mystery, right? So now everybody's mystery. And then it's like, hey, you follow me at Jeff the Entrepreneur and see what's going to happen. So by telling a story, right? Stories sell. We always hear that to people, and also tell them what you're interested in, but you got to read people. If it was something with you, like I know a lot of real estate investors I can connect you with, Alvin and all these guys too, and you can kind of know what it is. Just like I did with Sohail, I sent him an Instagram thing of, hey man, this is what you're looking for. You want to come from a point of service. Service always wins. So we kind of come that way. But like even when I met Dana White, man, I connected with him. I basically told him in really quick, hey, after I lost my brother, your video of quitting your job spoke to me, and I quit my job. And then he thought, wow, that's powerful, right? But it was authentic. And he said, what do you do? And I said, I have a podcast. I'd love you to be on it one time. And I said, I'm just trying to figure it out. I was really authentic. I was standing at the 10X Growth kind of in the middle. And he said, hey, bro, whatever you think, we need it. And we've been in touch since. So that's a cool dude that I watched a YouTube video that I made a personal connection. You have about 30 seconds to make a good impression. And that's why I work on everybody's pitch. I pitched my software around for a long time. So I've worked on that. You want to switch around value first, emotion is call to action, but you want to keep that 3-way.
Jeff, stop right there. What you're saying, everyone, this is gold. Gold. Please write this down. There is a formula to this, by the way. I truly believe that. And you just said it. You can connect with anyone in the world. They're just people. I shouldn't say anyone. It's a lot harder to connect with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, right? He's probably not coming on this webinar show because he's got so much. But there's a lot of people that you don't think you can get on your show or in front of people that have your audience that you could get on, your platform or whatever. And what Jeff said is so key. And the first one, he led with something like, what those people, like a guy like Dana White, who's the founder of USC, by the way, and Grant Cardone or whoever, all of these guys or girls, they still like to be praised. Like no matter how big or powerful they get, they still like a compliment, right? Like people want to know they're helping and adding value to the world. And so when you lead with something personal, hey, this video, this message, when I go into Clubhouse rooms and someone invites me up, you know what I do when I know they're going to call on me to ask my question? I Yeah, right before they bring me up, I go into my bio and I put thank you, Jeff, for hosting this room. And I'm telling you, I've got more people say, wow, Ellis, I can't look at Ellis's bio. And then the moderator himself will send all of his audience to my bio page just to say, hey, look what Ellis did. Because people want to be thanked for the good they're doing. So find something personal to thank them for, the emotional piece that Jeff's talking about. And then the second thing that I found to be so powerful that everybody here needs, this should be a 2021 goal for everyone listening. Are you ready? I'm telling you, if you are crippling, you are hurting, like you are doing yourself a disservice, your family a disservice by not having what I'm about to tell you. Everyone in 2021 should commit to building their own stage. Meaning you should commit to having your own podcast or a YouTube channel or something of value where you could invite guests up. You know why Jeff was able to continue the conversation with a guy like Dana White? It's because he had a podcast show that he was able to invite Dana White to come on. And Jeff might only had 100 listeners on his podcast show. That's what's so funny. It doesn't matter how big your platform is. If you have a podcast show, how many, Jeff?
What?
What did you say?
It's about connection. That's what it is.
It's about connection.
People. Here's the thing, and you're saying people write this down. So I was going to write it down. Everybody, imagine everybody has a sign around their neck, no matter who they are, that says this on it. If it says "Make me," this is for everybody. This is for you. This is for me. Feel special. So everybody has this sign. Just make sure everybody look at Clubhouse room, everybody look at life, anybody at the gas station, anything that they want to feel special, find something to make them feel special authentically and do it. You do that, you'll make connections with anybody, whether they're The Rock Johnson. Listen, everybody makes the big deal. I'm going to meet The Rock. The Rock will be my friend. This is not that hard. He's a human being, guys. He puts on a thing. And I don't even really like The Rock personally, but everybody always brings him up like the thing. Lewis Howes. So I've done a lot. I've talked to Lewis a little bit, and I love Lewis. Lewis is a big thing for me. He always talks about it, and I'm just like, I just like being the guy who's like, oh, you guys, it's not that hard. You know what I mean? Especially it's gotten easier with apps like Clubhouse, so you can come on in a second.
I don't think The Rock's on Clubhouse though yet, by the way. So we got to figure out a different way.
I'll send him an invite. All right, so we'll get him on. I'm serious. I'm not. That's how. And here's another thing I would say to do. So if you guys want to meet something, one thing I did before I met Grant, there's a famous 4-minute video with me and Grant that I sent to you. I made a dream list. I still have it. I have it over here. Make a dream list that I don't have The Rock on. Well, I'll add him to it. All right, for you, Ellis. But if you want, I'll introduce them. I just added Matthew McConaughey on for another dude. Right? These are all just human beings, man. So, which we all are. So you just make a dream list. Be intentional on who you want to meet, and then go out and follow this formula right here. So write this down: emotion, value, and a subtle call to action, right? So you want to be like, hey, I need your phone number right now. You want them to say, hey, I want to know more about you. I want to do something with that person, right? So that's everything I do with all the marketing consulting. We kind of brand their messages for that, and we detail it a lot more.
And this translates, how many DMs I get on LinkedIn? And type in the chat if you agree with me. How many DMs do you get on LinkedIn? People are like, hey, you want to jump on a call? Nice to meet you. And I'm like, no, I actually don't have time to get on a 15-minute call with you anymore. I'm sorry. But if someone reaches out to me and says, hey, Ellis, I have a podcast show. So think about this, for example. And this is true for me, and it's true for the people I reach out to. If you DM me and say, hey, you got 15 minutes for a call? No, sorry, I don't. if you're not going to invest with me and you're not looking to join our community, I don't really have time for you, because that's who I'm trying to serve and in my family. So I don't have time to just like connect anymore. But if someone reaches out to me and say, hey, Ellis, do you have 30 minutes to get on my podcast show? I have over 200 listeners every single week to talk about your story. Surprisingly, I have 30 minutes available for you sometime in the next 2 months. Why? Because you came with value. You showed that, I like getting on podcasts, and you have an audience that I can share my message, my story, my company with. And so that is how literally when I ask guys, like, no one wants to get on a 15-minute call with you, but surprisingly, as soon as you have a platform or a stage, people will spend up to 30 minutes or an hour with you. Why? Because of the power of a platform, power of a stage. It's really not worth getting on a one-to-one call. But if I can get on a one-to-one call with you, and that one-to-one call can then be broadcasted to 200 or 300 other people, then that begins to make a lot more sense. So that's what I'm saying. The power of a stage is so key.
And the one thing about content, people don't know where to start. Ellis, you're 100% right. A podcast is the perfect place to start because you can repurpose the content. I've done it with my Make More Money podcast. Gets over about 3,000 listeners, not one of the top, but definitely out there. Hits the market pretty well. And it's only invite only now, right? So now it's the thing. Omar, the Passionate Few, who does a great interview show, he taught me the framework. Get all A-level guests. I've had podcasts before, so start wherever you are. Once you build up a network like I have, now I have A-level guests. People pay to be on the podcast now because they're associated with names like, Tim Story, Elena Cardone, Dana White, Mark Cuban. So I've gotten a lot of big names that have confirmed to be on, and then we just do it, So 100% start a podcast. You can repurpose the content.
Let me ask you, just going back to Clubhouse, can you do the podcast model on Clubhouse? Like, instead of starting the podcast, could you actually
I don't know if I can show this here. Do you see this right here, what this is? This is the only way you can do it. This is a Rode Podcaster Pro. Don't DM me for the link. I don't know. I had someone order it for me. So I don't know where I got it, but that you have to hook up through a second thing. It'll plug in your iPhone, and then you just have to put a certification that you're recording. I'm going to record my new Make More Money podcast when I record with Perry Belcher, who's an avid marketer. I don't know if you know who he is. I was at an event. We're going to record it all through Clubhouse, and we're going to repurpose the content. So it's going to be once live with some Q&As. That's the FOMO, the Q&As. We're going to cut out the Q&As, and we're going to have the podcast live on and repurpose content. So that's exactly why I bought that. When I moved down to Miami or Texas, I'll probably be at then.
Miami or Texas, bro. We're going to Miami. We already talked about this.
Listen, where are you?
I'm in San Diego right now. It's the second best place in the world, I think. And it's hard, man. We're not ready yet, but I think Miami's our next move. And anyways, real quick though,
man, I know when you said it's the life.
Yeah, you just said something that I want to make sure people hear too. The idea of repurposing content. This interview right now, we'll do a lot of things. It's live, but then we're gonna chop this up and it'll be a YouTube video, right? So it'll continue to live on after this. And so the idea of taking one piece of content, multiplying that, we could break this up to 20 pieces of micro content for Instagram, LinkedIn. It'll be long form on YouTube. And so just helping people in our audience listen. Jeff, I'm gonna let you go, man. I told you 20 minutes. You've been here.
I want to tag you on Instagram. It's Ellis. What is it?
Let's get a little photo at Ellis Hammond _. Everyone, make sure you follow both of us on Instagram at Ellis Hammond.
Instagram, just tag us both, take a picture up it, and share this. Put Ellis and Jeff the Entrepreneur up here, right here, right?
Yeah. Jeff the Entrepreneur at Ellis Hammond _. Jeff, I'm gonna let you go. I want to show these folks some landing page secrets. I'm really grateful for your time, brother, and I look forward to collabing together on some things in the future.